I'm Coach Chris. This is the first official edition of the Uncomfortable Conversation podcast. We're going to set a goal, but I plan on pushing out, being more consistent so you really can see me more, really can get a grasp of who I am and what I'm trying to present to the public. I see the subscribers need to really get up. So let's get the subscriptions up. Let's get the likes up. Again, I appreciate everybody behind the scenes. We are zoning in. Let's get 1,000 subscribers. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get it so we can move into some bigger and better things. I got so much stuff planned that you wouldn't even imagine how we gonna go. Just trust me, follow me, let's do it. So periodically, you'll see me look over here or there, to check out where I'm at on notes. It's a lot of things I want to get through. This particular message, I'm calling it the microwave era. The character of the last society. What I'm going to speak about today is our integrity. Now, what I put is the lack of integrity and discipline is very prevalent in today's society. So, integrity. I speak for myself when I speak of it because it has to be a personal lived experience in order for a person to really grasp the concept behind it. We are all shepherds. When you are deciding to be an influencer, which is funny because say you have a followers or following, it's like, although all those people may not adhere to everything you say, it's very important that you push out the right advice, that you have your heart set in the right spot, because you are pushing this on everyday people who may not have that guidance thing. You have to really have a foresight to think about what people are going through every single day if you're going to talk to people, because that you may be that person that saves that person's life. So you got to be very conscious about the advice that you give. And see, when I speak of the integrity aspect of it, it's meaning as in saying, like, it's something that keeps you up at night. See, when you have integrity, it's like, as a writer, I'm writing things that I know are bad and people are consuming it. It would be the equivalent of the person that's watching this that is a trapper or someone who, is a dope dealer, dope boy. The equivalent of that, he's not happy doing what he's doing, whereas it's a confliction of his flesh and spirit, because the flesh has a practical thought process to it where it's like, get the money, but the spirit knows that money at the end of the day does not matter. But we know that it's practical, but we know that when life is going to end, when we're facing precarious situations, that the last thing we think about is how much money we have in the bank account. Maybe the only flash of a mindset is that I have enough money to take care of my family if something happens to me, but that's it. Like, when I pass on, they straight. That's the only thing, a person can take from that, but that's not every single person. Integrity, it has a deeper moral meaning behind it, where it's like, you understand that you represent not only your family members, not only the people that love you, but the people that passed on before you. Very important. It is a basic rudiment that we need to pay homage to that part of it. People sacrificed their lives and died. People were sprayed with water hoses and dogs were sick on them. Let's not make a fool of ourselves. Have integrity. Why do I say that? This is a microwave era. I was just speaking with someone earlier, telling them how an individual will say that they don't understand whether Christianity, Islam, The different religions, I don't know all of them, but no disrespect to anyone's religion. But one thing that it says is to seek out a balance of doing the right things every single day. Like treat your neighbor the right way, do the right thing. Don't try to do something wrong to the next person. Have an inner peace of understanding of why you're being here. In doing so, whatever happens, you're giving a good energy to the universe. You're having a good integrity, walking around with good morals, with a good mindset. You know, your integrity makes it where you walk around the right way to where you can sleep at night. That is why you see the things you see. That is why there's so much depression. That is why people are literally drugging themselves up to go to sleep. Because your spirit is arguing with the flesh. Because that's what I mainly say with these uncomfortable conversations, is letting people realize that there is a whole flesh and then there's a spirit. There's something that is imprisoned inside of this clay. And whether you willing to accept these facts or not, they truly exist. And that's the one thing about facts, is that regardless whether we want to accept them, regardless whether we feel like they matter, they are truly something that we have no choice but to accept whether we want to or not. That integrity is what's missing in every individual. And I'm not saying that to hurt you. So let me say that with a caveat of meaning that if you know that money doesn't move you, and that regardless to what amount of money a person has, that you will not make a fool out of yourself, then continue to please listen to this, but understand that you're on the right path, because that's where you have to get to have integrity, that regardless to whatever money that I'm being offered, I'm not going to make a fool of myself. So I'm going to end this with a little story. I'm going to make it up off the top of my head. So there's this guy, his name is James Griffin. James Griffin was a very successful comedian, actor. He was a writer. He was a producer. That he produced so much for the industry that they offered him a lucrative contract. Let's just say it was in the high six figures, that would set his generations up for success for, on after his death, and maybe 5 to 6 generations of what the wealth he would gain. But he made his bones, doing all kind of demeaning things, acts. The movies that he made were demeaning to his race of people, regardless of color. If it was the black person, it was always drug dealers. If it was the Asian person, then it was always someone in the market. If it was several different races, whatever you want to use as a stereotype for you, but it's no disrespect, it's just to get you in that mindset. So, with that being the case, he realized that although this would set his generations of life, the money that he's made, he's set up in a good financial place that he hasn't been before. The creator who he seeked out blessed him. So instead of being greedy and trusting his creator to be able to provide, or trusting that him doing the right things and being in a moral place of integrity would overall make the universe see him in the right light. In doing so, he turned down that lucrative contract because he knew that I would continuously have to do these things that are continuously to pass the stereotype, that continues to have people laughing, that continuously have people continuous the narrative, and him taking a stand over the money and saying, I'll figure out a way to do it the way that I know that I should be, rather than taking the money and doing it the way they're telling me to be. That's why I'm a firm believer in telling people all the time that everyone has gold talents. Gold talents. Everyone has that. But the one thing that you must do before you secure that is ask yourself, does my character meet what would be expected of me? Because, see, you are personally required to the culture that you represent to represent them in a good light. And see, people will sit back, oh man, Chris, look at you, man, here you go with that. That's some BS right there. You pointing the finger saying this, that, and the third. That's not right, Chris. That's wrong. No. You always hear people say, I'm doing it for the culture. So if you're going to say that, then you have to ride by that. Words matter. Your mama told you sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's a lie. My mama told me the same thing. That's a lie. I don't have any children, but when I have some, I'm not going to ever say that to them. Right hand to God. Thank you again for tuning into another message. I'm getting ready to hit you with a triple-double because we talked about integrity. Now we about to talk about the second part of discipline. Now when we get into that one, it's going to really get, you know what I'm saying, a little bit uncomfortable. But we all thick-skinned people here. We all people that want to learn something. We all people that want an interesting perspective. So I thank you for tuning into this message.